Now, this video may be my most controversial video. I hope it's not too controversial. My intention is not to just intentionally cause outrage and offense to people, but when you speak, you may offend someone. I've been consuming on the internet for a while now, and I've had to see opinions that I don't necessarily agree with, but I think I'm allowed to have my opinion. This video is about marriage. My opinion on marriage. So my opinion is based on my worldview, which is Christianity, and also just what I personally think makes sense. I believe marriage, there was a point in the world where we got it right. Monogamy between one man and one woman, and then children for life. I think that's the way forward. I generally think that is marriage. And anything else outside of that, respectfully, I don't agree with. Now, I'm not a politician. I'm not trying to have a career in politics. I'm not the most famous guy. People don't really know me like that, like outside of people that, my family or I've gone to school with or seen here and there. So it's not like I'm trying to it's not like my words at the moment have any sort of power or anything. I'm not trying to be, even though I'm on social media, this is more as I feel it makes the most sense for me currently in my life. Just having a voice and just putting out my opinion. So I am allowed to have my opinion. But I'm just stating that this isn't sort of, I genuinely hope some people agree with me, And if I can influence someone, sure. But it's not my intention to just this is what makes sense to me in terms of marriage. Like I said, there was a point in the world that I think we got it right. One man, one woman for life. And that is my definition of a marriage, with children as well. As in the Bible, it says, be fruitful and multiply, and two become one. So, yeah, that's why I said with children. Reason being, so it's mainly inspired by the Bible, but also just, I feel like that's a clear definition. Also, let me know in the comments what's your definition of marriage, because I'm being very clear here. One man, one woman for life. The reason why I keep saying for life is because I'm not for divorce. That's just my opinion. I think divorce should be abolished. I think divorce contradicts what a marriage is. One of the famous quotes in terms of marriage vows is together in sickness and in health for life. So the fact that there's a whole industry of divorce is that kind of contradicts what marriage is supposed to be. And just in general, over the years, you might click on a visible person, a famous person's Wikipedia here and there, and I just feel like a lot of people just don't take the institution of marriage seriously. Just several marriages. 1, 2, 3. I've come across some people, 5 marriages. In my opinion, you just don't take it seriously if you're able to do that multiple times. So how many times are you going to say in sickness and in health to someone? I think divorce should be abolished. I really do. This might cause controversy. People are going to look for reasons. What if this happens? What if that? In my opinion, if your mind is already there, then I don't think you should be getting married. Because there's a lot of things that you can do currently that you don't necessarily have to do. You don't necessarily have to get married to do. People live with each other. People start businesses with each other. People already have children, meaning they're having sex. So really and truly, do you really have to get married? If you're more of an individual and you don't want to be tied into something for life, then maybe it's not for you. And also, I genuinely believe if this was the standard, there would be people still getting married because they see it as something that's for life. And with that, you would filter out all the bad actors, those that are there for a day, an event, bit of social status, how they can use someone to, get up in life, whether it's financially. There's all these conversations of prenups and, things of that nature. I think that's all avoided if you abolish divorce. And then we will really see who is really in this for the long haul and not just for the, to improve your reputation, to improve your social status. I believe that if that was the case, even though it may sound, that's a bit extreme, but I genuinely think people, in spite of it being for life, a lifelong contract, they will still get married because those are the people that are really, really in it for the long haul, not those that are in it, just for the reasons that I mentioned, just to, as like a come up, a day, something. Might be just bored, might just want to experience this in your life. Because yeah, man, I see like I said, they come across like a lot of visible. I'm not really going to mention names like that, but, famous celebrities. And it's just like, how many times are you going to do this? Like, it's like to me, you don't take the institution seriously. And I think this is something that should be taken seriously. And there should be a clear definition. And there was a point where things were done properly. I think divorce got legalized in like the 20th century at some point, and I think that was a slippery slope for other things being introduced. So as I've stated, I think marriage is one man and one woman. So meaning in terms of the homosexual marriages, I don't think that should be a thing. One of the reasons is biblically, the Bible is against that. I don't want to, be against people that, do that. But to me, I see individual people as more than whatever their sexual preference is. I don't really think that's so important. A lot of job applications, things, they'll be asking you if you're heterosexual. Bruv, I mean, I'm straight, but why is that so, like, all of this identity stuff sometimes I think is just so forced, quite frankly. That I can get on with someone who's a homosexual because that person is more than being a homosexual. I watch EastEnders, their characters like Johnny Carter, Halfway the policeman. And these guys, like I said, one is a lawyer, one is a policeman, like they've got family members, like you're more than what you are. Like you could be you could have other things, you're not just gay. Like I can get on, like when there's scenes of them as their characters, I'm watching. When they're doing what they do, I can't lie, I don't have to watch it. I'm allowed to feel like that. Like I am allowed. The same way, let me be fair, the Bible is also against fornication, sex before marriage. And let's be real, a lot of people do it. Majority of people do it. I've indulged in that. If I know that somebody is happily married, they live a more monogamous life, they are more, they've got sexual discipline. If I know this person, they stated that clearly, I'm not going to bring that around them. Some of the conversations I've had with friends, like locker room lad banter, like I'm not going to be talking about, women the same way I talk about that with somebody who, is okay with that than with someone who has made it very clear, like they're on this monogamous path. And if you can show respect to me by not bringing that up, I completely understand why somebody wouldn't want that brought to them. So I feel the same way in terms of like the homosexual stuff. Like as much as, like I said, I can be friends with someone, I think you're more than that. We could like football, we could go to the gym, like we could have common interests. But in terms of that side of you, I would rather not really hear about it that much. The same way I would respect someone who didn't want me to talk about, promiscuity or, you know, certain other things. So I just want to make that clear that this is not me just trying to like go against people, intentionally trying to be hostile, but these are my genuine opinions. So yeah, I'm not for homosexual marriage. The same way, man, woman and women as well. I'm not for that. I'm not one of these people that, you know, you say the men is bad, but the woman is okay. Like I said with the EastEnders example, maybe if the women are doing it, the scenes of them, maybe I do watch. I don't turn my face like this, but that's because I'm attracted to women. It's not that I think they're doing anything, you know, better. But yeah, I'm not for that. The Bible is not for that. So I'm backing up biblically. And I think what makes sense in a society, people should be brought up in homes where there's a mother and a father. That's why I think all stats, people that are very wise, the smart people, all of them, you know, a lot of them say that it's best for children to be raised in homes where there's a mother and a father. So hence why I feel, in my opinion, a marriage is between one man and one woman. Everything other than that, I don't agree with. So I'm not sure if it's legal. I don't think it's legal, but polygamous marriages, no, I'm not for that. I don't think one man is and multiple women, or vice versa, one woman and multiple men. No, it's not just that I'm against homos. I don't think you can be allowed to be married to multiple people. And I've just stated I'm not for divorce. I think it's run its course. Like it's a whole market. Like there's winners and losers. Like there's this famous divorce lawyer, James Sexton, I think his name is. You know, he said sometimes he feels bad that he's made a lot of money through the breakdown of a family. I can understand what he's saying. Like there's winners and losers in this. Like one person could gain financially. Like a lot of the cause of suicide could be from divorce. A lot of the issues like families, it's bigger than just the two people, because in a marriage, two people are joining as one. So families are being connected, children. I really do think this has run its course. Like we've seen the experiment. We've seen that potential bad actors get involved. And that's, like I just stated, people already do things that a lot of married people do anyway, in terms of living together, having sex, raising children, holidaying, starting businesses. Like you don't have to be married to be able to do things that married people do. So in my personal opinion, in order to make marriage more sacred, in order to filter out the bad actors and see that those that are actually serious about this institution, that would be I think going forward, that would be the way society would be able to. I just think, just personally, like that should be our marriages. Just basically what I'm saying is take the institution seriously and have a clear definition. There's too many things. Like I said, divorce contradicts what it is, and then you've got the homosexual, and like I said, I don't know if it's legal, but polygamy, I wouldn't be for that either. So I think monogamous marriage is between one man and one woman for life. And if you look at that as something that you don't think you want to sign up for, then maybe it's not for you, and you can still do a lot of things that married people do anyway. So yeah, that's my personal opinion. It's something that I thought about a lot. It's just through like scrolling, looking at different people here and there, and just seeing the amount of people that have come from divorces, and famous people that have, married this year. Then this is just, I think it's too much. The institution is not taken seriously, and I think marriage should be taken seriously. A lot of this hesitance as well, like some people, they say, particularly men, wealthy men, they don't want to get married because They feel like they're going to lose their half of their money, you know, things that have happened in the past. You know, now that women are even gaining money. Women are even becoming like wealthy and stuff. You know, some of these wealthy women have their concerns. I feel like that's just all avoided if you abolish this. If you, you make it clear what a marriage is between one man and a woman. It's for life, and divorce is abolished, and it's stated clearly, so that you remove all the bad actors, all the people that are not here for good reasons, trying to use someone else to go forward in life. You're not involved anymore. This experiment has run its course. It's probably going to be the most controversial video I've ever made, but this is my opinion. Remember, I'm not your enemy in this life. Yeah? I'm not here to offend people, but this is my opinion. I've had to view things on the internet that I don't agree with. I should be allowed to voice what I think. I think people should be allowed to voice what they think. And yeah, we can all discuss this in a respectful manner. And that's how we go forward. You know, honest dialogue. Don't just be in your feelings and just be too emotional, calling names and this and that. No, that's not what I'm here for. But this is genuinely my opinion, which is based on what I believe, and also my worldview, which is based on Christianity. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hopefully, you know, it's not too much of a, doesn't cause too much outrage, because that's not what I'm here for. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.